Welcome back. It's been a little while since we had Ron Yakibuchi here from the Mass Hire South Shore Career Center in Quincy Center for an update. So here he is. Hey, Ron. How you doing?
I'm doing very well. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for coming over. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
It's a great,
my pleasure.
You know, kind of mid-year, I thought,
Sure.
good opportunity to talk about. There are some new labor numbers that have just been released by the state not too long ago. So I thought we could talk about the Career Center itself and then the labor pool in general.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's the kind of the mission, the goal of the Career Center?
Well, it's to get people back to work.
Exactly.
Uniting job seekers as well as employers together. And we've got a great team there. They're very dedicated. They're very passionate about the work they do. And we invite people who are looking for work to come on down.
There are career centers like yours, right?
All over the Commonwealth. All over the country.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
they're called American Job Centers. In Massachusetts, we call it Mass Hire.
Okay.
That's how we're branded.
Okay.
Yeah, there are 16 regions. We're one, and we cover from Quincy all the way down to Plymouth, 22 communities. We have a population, a working population of almost 500 million people in that region alone.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of people.
This is a state-funded?
Not federally funded. Department of Labor. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Through two particular grants, Wagner Pfizer and Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act.
Okay. And about how long have such centers been in existence?
They've been well. The centers, everything's gone through transition.
Yeah.
It started back in the Roosevelt days with WPA
Really? Oh, okay.
and CETA. You're probably familiar with that.
Yes, yes.
And JTPA, and now WIOA.
Okay.
And so there's always been some kind of a labor force program in place to help workers.
Okay.
And so we've kind of transitioned. It never used to be career centers, but they created those one-stop career centers where all the different state agencies can partner together to give kind of a holistic approach to helping people.
Okay.
So it's not just about a job, it's about housing, it's about daycare, it's about transportation, it's about a lot of things that make one successful in the workplace.
So who would utilize the Career Center? Who would benefit from
Well,
your
most of the people that are required to come to the Career Center are those that receive unemployment insurance.
Okay.
So the first time you're getting that, you need to plug into a Career Center.
I see.
Got to go through an orientation, got to go through a review, make sure we give you a resume, and get you started on your work search. So that's mandated.
That's required.
If you don't do that, you're not going to get your unemployment insurance.
Okay,
So,
all right.
But a lot of people struggle with unemployment, and I'm really happy to say that we have finally received in-person services from DUA, the Department of Unemployment
Yes.
Assistance, and it makes a big difference.
I would think.
We
Yeah.
worked hard to get that legislation passed. Bruce Ayers was one of the sponsors, and Representative Ayers, and took a little while to implement, but we finally got it, and it's
Okay.
made a tremendous difference. So people can actually come into our Career Center now and get help navigating their unemployment insurance.
From a real person?
From a real person, yeah, as opposed to like trying to get on the phone
Right.
or maybe, God knows, dealing with navigating the website.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just, it's resulted in so many hardships with people going weeks and months without any support.
Benefits, yeah.
And so now we're willing to provide that. And so we're pleased that that's available.
That's
and
great.
people should come into the Career Center if they're struggling with their unemployment insurance. And get some
That's
help.
kind of a product of the pandemic, right? Because there was in-person prior, was there not?
Oh, well, there used to be unemployment offices
Yes,
before, and that all changed
Right.
because someone had the brilliant idea that we're going to do this all online.
Yeah.
And online generated fraud.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It generated all these hardships that I just described.
Yeah.
And so maybe we need to go back to what, the good old days
What
where
worked,
you used to
right?
have to physically come in every week and certify.
Yeah.
I would be an advocate for that because I think that brings people into the office on a regular basis.
Okay.
So they did away with all the unemployment offices, and basically everything went pretty much online.
At a time when the unemployment rate soared to like 35%, right, during the pandemic.
Yeah, well,
the
the
it was
unemployment
artificial,
rate,
obviously. But
unemployment rate is down now a little bit, but that's basically as a result of the labor workforce participation rate has gone down.
Oh, I see.
So basically, if you're collecting unemployment and you do that and you exhaust that, you're not counted as that number anymore.
Right.
But you're still not part of the workforce.
Okay.
And the labor workforce participation rate has gone down. There are less people now that are looking for
in the
work.
workforce?
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's not a good thing. I mean, there's a lot of things that contribute to the success of a healthy workforce, and immigration is one of them. And we're having some issues now with the with the Haitian TPS workers.
The temporary protected status.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, we again, a good immigration policy is what we need, and we don't have because it's the fuel that really runs the workforce system. And we're hurting with that right
So
now.
you're seeing
there are a lot
that
of other things that we're
translate.
hurting too, because there's a lot of uncertainty out there right
Right.
now. I mean, between the war in Iran, between the tariffs, between the midterms, AI is
Yes.
another factor.
Yes.
I mean, there's just, and again, the immigration thing that kind of weighs in. You have a very difficult situation, and we're doing the best we can. Obviously, if people come in and want to help, want help, we're there to help them and
Sure.
get back into the workforce.
So the people that have kind of fallen off the unemployment rolls, if you will,
Yep.
and are not working again,
Yep.
well, what are they doing?
That's a good question.
Okay, all right.
I mean, you look at even the impact that AI, I mentioned AI very
Yeah.
briefly. I mean, they're talking about roughly 350,000 jobs in the greater Boston area are going to be affected and vulnerable to AI.
Really?
So what's the impact of that going to be, and where do we go relative to our workforce? What are the new jobs that are going to be created? What are the jobs that we're losing?
Yeah.
What are the new jobs that we're creating? How are we training for that? How are we preparing for that? Those are the kinds of things that we're being challenged with right now and we're trying to deal with. But to answer your question, the workforce participation rate, I mean, they talk about universal income. And I don't know if that's something that's going to be on the horizon, where we're paying people because they're not able to support themselves and they're not able to get back to work. But they need some sort of income, and is the government going to step in and provide that support? I don't know if that's something that's coming as a solution too. But it's a challenging time.
Yeah. So the unemployment rate statewide, I think, is about
Yeah.
4.5%.
Yeah, it's gone down,
little
but it's
lower.
gone down mainly because of more people aren't participating.
So they're not counted, basically. Yeah.
Correct.
But it is a little lower in our area here, isn't
Yes.
it, Norfolk County?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're holding our own.
Okay. In what areas are folks being hired, Ron?
Like if you want to look at Quincy,
Yeah.
the biggest employers in Quincy, I'll tell you, are State Street, Ahold, Granite Telecommunications. We've got Santander Bank,
Yep.
Bella Insurance.
Okay.
Those are some of the
So
bigger ones.
Banking, insurance.
Yeah.
It's amazing how
Yeah.
the city workforce has morphed from blue collar, right, from its past
Doesn't
to
exist
more white
anymore.
collar now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So how does the Career Center help folks find jobs in those areas?
Well, because these employers post their jobs.
Okay.
And we're able to hopefully connect people that are appropriate with the right skill set, the right experience into those jobs. Or if they need training.
Yes.
That's another thing that we do.
Yes.
In fact, this year we're going to increase percentage-wise. We say we get 100% of our funds, we dedicate 30% of those funds into training
Wow.
for people. We're going to up that probably to 40%
Really?
this year
Okay.
and invest more money in training so we could adjust to some of the changes that are going on in the workforce and hopefully meet the needs of the employers and give them a good candidate
Yeah.
to fill the job.
Yeah.
So training is definitely makes a difference. We're trying to work very hard with our youth team. We're into almost every school in our SDA service delivery area, educating folks about not just the college possibility, but the alternative to the college.
Yes.
And we've been working very hard with South Shore Votech
Yep.
and pushing CTI, training. I was at a graduation a couple of weeks ago. 100 people graduated from those classes, and they're all getting jobs.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
One of the things I'm proud of is the fact that we actually, first in the Commonwealth, had a cohort that allowed kids on the spectrum to go to South Shore Votech, and basically they all learned a trade,
Teach them a skill.
and they all get jobs.
Yeah.
Which is really something that we need to be doing more of.
Yes, yeah. We've heard about the opportunities in the trades for
Yeah.
several years now. So
Yeah.
that still exists.
It's a career path,
Yeah.
and it's an incredible opportunity for people to make more money.
Yes.
As opposed to going to college, not necessarily, and getting your student loans and your debt and
Right.
all that.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
that's a real issue with folks. There's another path, and we're showing folks at the high school level what that path is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you seeing young people that have graduated college struggling to
Yes.
get in the workforce, really?
Yeah, I've never seen it like this
Right,
before.
yeah.
You're in a 4-year college, you've spent, maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars on the education.
Depending, yeah.
And we have more people coming into our career center now, they don't have jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are they saying? what fields are they trying to get jobs in that they're having trouble with?
Not exactly sure. I mean, it's a variety. It runs the gamut, right? But basically, the bottom line is kids from college aren't getting jobs.
Yeah.
They're graduating and they're not getting jobs. And so we're working with that. Sometimes they have to take something less than what is most desirable that
Just
fits.
to start, right?
Just to get started,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So.
Okay, interesting. Is AI part of that, do you think? I mean, has it been able to
We're working
suss
with
that out
AI
yet?
too to try to improve how we function in the Career Center.
Yeah.
And we've partnered with IBM, first in the Commonwealth, we're doing this. And they're trying to look at exactly how we could better structure our time during the day to deal with the customers that are coming in.
Yeah.
They're setting up a system for us. So I think you can see the benefits of AI
Okay.
in that regard, in terms of better resumes, better process, better job matching. So it's amazing what you could plug in and what comes out. So we're working those possibilities too to
Yeah.
see if we can take advantage of how we could better work with AI in our own Career Center
Right.
to help better serve our customers.
Okay. Any jobs in Quincy, Ron? Any jobs open?
Well, I don't know. Anything over here at the cable company? Yeah, if you had something, you'd post it with us,
Of
wouldn't you?
course,
Yeah, of
absolutely,
course.
yes. But I know you keep a close eye on the local city market, right? Labor market, job market.
Yeah, I mean, we serve 22 communities.
Right.
So we have to reach out. We've got a business service team that actually reaches out to employers. We're plugged into all the chambers in the region.
Yep.
So we're constantly connecting, and we're trying to understand where the demand is, because we want to train to the demand,
Right,
right?
yeah.
So basically, if we're collecting data out there from listening to the chambers, listening to the employers, we understand what's hot, what's where the jobs
Yes,
are,
yeah.
and we want to be directing people to those opportunities. And if training, like I said before, is involved, we're going to provide the training.
Okay, and how does that work? How does the training actually work?
Okay, so you've got to be eligible either as a dislocated worker or as or based on income.
Okay.
So the two different ways in which we kind of evaluate that. But a lot depends too on what your experience has been. If someone has the right skill set and the right experience, we're not going to spend money training
Start
them.
all
We're
over
going to
again,
find them
right?
the job, and
Yeah.
exactly,
Right.
yeah. So, but there are opportunities, I think, today more than before to try something new,
Yes.
try something different.
Yep.
And we can encourage that. So we have to go through a process of making sure they're eligible, because I've got to satisfy a lot of DOL regulations.
Department of Labor.
The Department of Labor
Okay,
regulations. Otherwise, I get disallowed costs, and otherwise people aren't happy. So we got to make sure things fit and that they're eligible for the services.
Okay, because are there any costs associated with using the Career Center programs and activities?
All,
No.
all
Yeah.
of all of the services that we provide are at no cost.
Yeah.
I hate to say they're free, because sometimes that
Well,
doesn't sound
Well, it
good. but
devalues it, I think, sometimes.
it does, a little bit, yeah.
Because technically, they have paid for it, right?
They have to pay for it.
Through
Your
the federal
tax dollars
taxes, right?
at work, yeah,
Right.
yeah. It pays for the operation of the center, pays for the outreach that we do, pays for the different teams that we have, whether it's the youth team, as I mentioned, the business service
Yeah.
team, the employment counselors that are working in the Career Center.
Yeah, so take advantage of it.
Take
is
advantage
the
of
message,
it, yeah.
right?
I mean, for a long time, we've been like the best kept secret. And,
I
and
say
that's why
that all the
things like
time,
this
yeah.
really are important, because it does give us exposure. So, and I know you're going to be plugging certain things like our phone number and our
Yes,
website,
certainly,
and
yes.
encouraging people to move toward that. I mean,
Yeah.
you call our number, we're going to give you a response and get you plugged in
Yeah.
to the process.
Do you have to be unemployed or on unemployment to use the Career Center? No. I think
Anybody-
that's a misconception too, I think.
Yeah. Well, the folks, as I mentioned earlier, that are unemployed
They have to.
They have to.
Right,
They're
yeah.
mandated.
Right.
If they don't, they're going to lose their benefits.
Right, yeah.
But anybody can come in
Yeah.
for help.
If
Yeah,
you're
absolutely.
looking to change careers,
Change jobs, or move up,
Or move up.
whatever. Yeah,
you can
our
plug them
services
into
are available.
Some of the training programs. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do folks still write resumes, Ron? Is that still a thing?
Yeah, it's getting better and better, because I
Yeah.
mean, you have a situation now where you've got AI.
Yes.
And you could make stronger connections, I think, utilizing that intel.
Okay.
So,
I would
but we
proofread that,
have,
though.
but we do have on staff
Yeah.
counselors that are certified in resume writing.
Oh, all
so
right.
they've got the skill set that they can put something together for you.
Okay.
Anybody that comes in as an unemployed person has got to basically have a resume before they leave. They're going to go through an
Oh,
orientation, and we
okay.
have to put a resume in place, because that's the tool you need in order to be able to
It's
yeah,
telling your story,
So
right?
no one leaves the Career Center without having a resume.
Good to know.
Yeah.
All right. But if somebody wants to update theirs, perhaps, is that
They-
another option?
Absolutely, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a resource area. People are free to come in. All they have to do is register on something called JobQuest. so they become a customer of ours.
Oh, all right.
And once they become that customer, then we could also, take, I don't want to say take credit, but at least we need to obviously satisfy certain goals that we have. How many people we serve, how many people got jobs, how many people got training. So we have to measure all of that.
Of course, yeah.
And
The federal government wants to know how you're using their money, right?
Exactly. That's right. So.
Do you have a job postings bulletin board?
Yeah, if you
will?
go on the
do? Okay.
website, you can get access to that information.
Okay, and if I see a job on that posting I'm interested in, will the Career Center help me through that process?
We can help you navigate that.
Okay.
You can come in and we could do some practice sessions with
Yeah.
interviewing.
Yeah.
We could, certain people are coming at these things from different directions.
Mm-hmm.
Some people they've stopped out of the workforce for a while because they're raising a kid.
Sure.
So how do you address that in a resume? Those kinds of things.
Okay.
We could be helpful
To make it-
in giving the people the right guidance so that they are presenting themselves in the best possible way.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly, yeah. Do kids still get summer jobs, Ron? Is that still a thing?
Yeah, so
It is?
YouthWorks our money got cut, but we're still going to be able to provide a program. And in Quincy alone, there's over 100 kids that participate.
Oh, that's great.
It's all income driven,
Yeah.
but it gives them their first opportunity to have a job.
Yeah.
And to learn, the soft skills
Yes,
about
yes.
getting up on time, and, showing up, on time. and,
Interpersonal skills,
personal,
right?
yeah, all that, yeah,
organizational
yeah.
skills, yeah.
It's because it's a short period of time,
Yeah.
but it makes a big difference,
Yep.
and we're grateful to the employers that do participate in that, and they get free labor for the summer,
Yes.
to do something, and kids learn a lot, and a lot of the kids get hired back.
That's great.
They get hired back.
For an employer who's maybe watching, how do they connect with the Career Center if
Again,
they have
just
openings?
dialing that main number
Okay.
and plugging in. They'll be directed to a person that's in charge of business services.
Great.
And they'll be able to walk through the process
Yeah.
from there.
And I know you do work with the local colleges as well. I mean,
Yeah,
certainly you're not poo-pooing higher education by any means, right?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, we work well with all the community colleges. In fact, we depend on the community colleges to come up with the training program. So
Yes.
if we see a demand and we need some training, the Quincy colleges, the Quincy College, the other colleges, state colleges,
Yep.
are
Massasoit,
flexible enough
Mass, yeah.
to put something together
Yeah.
on a timely basis,
Right.
so that we could take advantage
Meet that
of
direct need.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
really custom
Yeah.
tailor the
Yeah.
program for that individual.
Correct.
Or that cohort, if you will, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
I know we'll have you back later in the year because there'll be job fairs coming up in the fall. I'm
Yeah,
guessing,
absolutely.
right?
We did a really successful one in Braintree a month or so ago with the mayor, and we had over 100 employers
That's great.
participating. We had over 300 people,
Wow.
job seekers, come.
Okay.
And it was at Braintree Town Hall, which is a real good, venue for
Central
that.
location, yeah.
Yeah, but it's a great hall.
Yes.
So we could set up the tables
Yep.
and get people coming and going and so forth, and the parking. But it was a very successful event. A lot of people got connected to jobs.
That's great. So that must indicate to you that there is a strong demand out there.
There is,
Yeah. We've heard this low hire, low fire, atmosphere. Companies are not letting go, but they're really not adding either.
No,
Yeah.
no, that's the problem. And I think that going back to what we said at the beginning, AI
Yeah.
plays a role in that.
Yeah.
They're investing more in that than they are in a workforce. And so how it's all going to play out, how it's going to balance,
Still being worked out.
yet to
Yeah.
be seen, yeah.
We've been putting up your website, your phone
Good,
number,
good. MassHireSS.com.
your email as well.
617-745-4000.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Or stop by, right? 1515 Hancock Street.
50/50. We're there 8:30 to 4:30 every day, Monday through Friday.
All right. Good to see you, Ron. Thanks for the update.
Excellent.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
You
Thanks,
are
John.
welcome.